All right, IM1 classes. Moving on with our systems, solving systems of equations. Today we're going to learn how to do it algebraically with a method called substitution. We're going to be using a basic substitution. And our next lesson will be slightly more involved than it is today. But let's get right into it. So we're going to solve this system of equations using substitution. So first we have our equations: y equals 4x plus 6, and then y equals 7x. So in the last lesson, we learned how to do this by graphing. Graph both of them, find where those two graphs intersect, and that would be the solution. Today, what we're going to learn is how to do this without graphing. Here are the steps for you. So first thing we're going to do, step one, substitute one equation into the other. What that means is, so we have y is equal to 7x plus 6. Y is also equal to 7x. Excuse me, I said 7x up here. It's 4x plus 6, and then down here, y is also equal to 7x. What we can do is just substitute this equation. We know y is 7x. I can take this 7x and put it into y here. So essentially, you're just setting the equations equal to each other. So 7x is equal to 4x plus 6. And then we solve this equation. So I'm going to put in my line of separation. To solve, I need the x's on the same side. So I'm going to start off by subtracting 4x from both sides to get the x's on the same side of the equation. 4x minus 4x cancels out. 7x minus 4x is 3x. Equal to 6. And then finish solving for x. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So times 3 divided by 3 cancels out. I get x is equal to 2. So last thing, so there we go. Solve for x. So we know what x is equal to. Next, we're going to input the value of x into one of the original equations. So we can put in x into either this one right here or this one right here. Probably easiest just to put it into the bottom one. So we know y is equal to 7x. I am going to take the 2, put it in for x here. So y is equal to 7 times 2. 7 times 2 is 14. So y is 14. And then the last step, so remember, this is where it's the point of intersection between two lines. So we need to write this as an ordered pair as x is 2, y is 14. So the final answer is 214. Let's take a look at another example. Y is equal to 3x plus 18, and then y is equal to 5x. So again, y is equal to 3x plus 18, and y is equal to 5x. Since these are both equal to y, we can set them equal to each other. So 5x is equal to 3x plus 18. Solve for x. So I'm going to start off solving for x. I need all the x's on the same side, so I'm going to move this x to the other side by subtracting 3x from both sides. So 5x minus 3x is 2x. 3x minus 3x cancels out. That is 18. Next, again, divide both sides by 2. You get x is equal to 9. So once we have the x, you need to put the x and input that value into either the x here or the x here. It doesn't matter. I'll do the bottom one since that's going to be less work. So again, that x equals 9 is going to go in to the x here. So I get y is equal to 5 times x, and x is 9. So 5 times 9 is 45. So the solution, it is an ordered pair, x is 9, y is 45. Couple more examples. Let's look at what happens when we're dealing with a bunch of negatives. Really, it's the same thing. You just need to be careful about the negatives. So in this equation, y is equal to negative 9x, and then y is equal to 2x plus 33. Since these are both equal to y, we can set them equal to each other. So negative 9x is equal to 2x plus 33. And then you can just solve for x. So I'm going to start off. I need all the x's on the same side. I'm going to move the 2x's over the other side by subtracting 2x from both sides. So positive 2x minus 2x cancels out. Negative 9 minus 2x. So negative 9 is to the left of 0. When you subtract, you go further to the left. So you further away from 0, it's going to be negative 11x is equal to 33. Last step, since this is negative 11 times x, the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So you're going to divide both sides by negative 11. Negative 11 times negative 11 divided by negative 11 cancels out. So I get x is equal to 33 divided by negative 11 is negative 3. Right? I need to put the negative 3 either into the x here or the x here. It doesn't matter. You'll get the same answer either way. I'll use the top one because that'll be less work. So negative 9x. So I'm going to take x as negative 3. That's going to go into the x here. So y is equal to negative 9 times x. And x is negative 3. So y is equal to negative 9 times negative 3 is positive 27. And so once we have that, you just need to write it as an ordered pair. Negative 3 times x is negative 3, y is 27. Last example. Bunch of negatives, all negatives. So let's just work through one, all negatives here. So again, since both these expressions are equal to y, we can set them equal to each other. So it's going to be negative 7x is equal to negative 6x minus 7. Line of separation. I need to have all the x's on the same side of the equation. So I'm going to move the negative 6x over the other side. Since it's a negative 6x, to move it to the other side, I'm going to add 6x, do the opposite. Negative 7x plus 6x. So negative 7 is to the left of 0. When you add 6, you go to the right, so you're going to get closer to 0. You're going to be at negative 1x is equal to negative 6 plus negative 6 cancels out. Minus 7, this minus stays with the 7, so it's negative 7 down here. Last step, solve for x. Going to divide both sides by negative 1. So times negative 1 divided by negative 1 cancels out. You get x is equal to negative 1 divided by negative 1, or excuse me, negative 7 divided by negative 1 is positive 7. So the x is positive 7. I don't need to box that yet. You need to substitute the 7 and put it into one of the x's here. So either top x here or x here. I'm going to use the bottom one because that's going to be less work. So negative 7 times x. And x is positive 7. So I'm going to take this, substitute it in here. So I get y is equal to negative 7 times x, and x is 7. Negative 7 times 7 is negative 49. So write it as an ordered pair. X is 7, y is negative 49. So the assignment for this lesson is on Delta Math. Go ahead and get that done. If you have any questions, make sure you email me, Other than that, we'll see you guys next time.